All right, today we're going to be doing something completely different. So today we are going to be detailing this Amtrak Horizon car. I'm not 100% familiar with these, but I know that I really like the way these cars look. These are Walthers Mainline cars. I'll put the number, item number and all that, a picture of the end of the box here. And so because it's Walthers Mainline, it's not quite as detailed, but you can get a detail kit for this. And to light the car, you can get this. Can't quite fit it in the camera without knocking over that kit I'm working on, this Horizon Fleet lighting kit. So start by, I think, opening up this car and opening up this kit and taking a look at what's inside. So we've got some ton of screws and stuff in here. What else have we got? Hopefully these look like the correct trucks for a Horizon car. And then the lighting board and some instructions. And here's the light board. So I'll leave that to one side. And here are the instructions. So I'll kind of read through this and take a look, and we'll be right back when we're ready to open up the car. As I believe this actually has the exploded view diagram, which is interesting, but it does. And this actually screws in to the roof of the car. So I'm actually going to as well open up this detail kit so we can see the grab irons and see where these are supposed to go. And if they're not supposed to go anywhere where that is only accessible by taking the body off, I'm going to take the body off and do the lighting kit first and then put the detail kit on. So I'll be right back. It'll be a couple minutes for me, but just a second for you. I'm actually going to come here and show you that it actually tells you once you've attached the light bar to the underside of the roof, it's a good time to install the detail kit. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to take the body off and we're going to get started here. And got my screws here, my screwdriver here. Screws here. Start taking out apart couplers, underside here. And while I do not recommend just leaving it, I would recommend finding a nice spot to put your screws. Just for the sake of this video, I am putting them right down next to it. And then here we've got the other side. These actually come apart just the same as the Walthers Proto and Fleet cars, which I will also be doing a video on at a later time, where we, again, don't have to detail those ones, but I added, I need to get lighting kits for those as well, so I believe now this should just separate, yes. So this very gently separates the body from the chassis here. So here's the under frame. Oh yeah, you can't actually see it. I'm looking at it. So there's some nice table and chairs. There's even a kitchen counter there. Not, pretty basic, but for $40, I'd say it's a pretty good car. So we're going to move the under frame to one side, and I'm going to open up this bag here with a pair of scissors that I should have, that I do have. So we're opening up the screw where the screws and all that is kept. And being left-handed, it's a pain in the butt to actually use scissors sometimes, but I get through it. So here we got, open this up, got the screws we need for the light bar, and these look like all the contacts we're looking for. So at this moment, I'm going to put these little screws in this container and close it up here and take my time. So we'll flip it open and we can see the screw connections there. All right. So we can now very easily open up the bubble wrap that are nice. Oh, come on. And it's sticking to itself. That our lighting kit is in. Now let me, come on. There we go. There we go. Okay. So obviously this can only go to one side as it's only got contacts on one side. So let me consult the instructions once again. Ooh, why did I say it like that? Once again. And we'll see what it says. I guess it doesn't matter, as it seems to me that either side, on either side, they are the same, which is good. So let's get going. We'll just put this in and then we'll just make sure we match up the contacts to the correct side. All right, let's drop this in. Okay, it doesn't want to go in that way. Or it doesn't want to go in at all. Okay. Doing this on camera is never easy. It's jammed in here. Thanks. I will say I did not expect this to be as tight a fit as it is. It's getting stuck on that window there. So let me play with this and I will be back. Okay. So it's tight. You can see the screw holes aren't perfectly lining up. So I'll have to do some work, and I'm going to do that off camera and I'll be back. But I did get it in. These actually on the side here slide up and down, and that makes it a whole heck of a lot easier to get them in and out. Okay, so I've encountered a problem. You can see here the window, or this side here fits nice and flush, but if we go over to this side, well, there's a problem. So might be back to the drawing boards on these, Walthers. Looks like your PCB is too long for the lighting kit, and it does not fit in these Horizon cars. I'm going to do some research, see if anybody else has ever had this problem. Hopefully it's not just me and I didn't just install these and screw myself over. But I'll be back again. All right, well, I still haven't figured out my PCB board predicament there quite yet. But in the meantime, as I said before, I'm going to work on the grab irons here. So I need a number 80 drill bit. So let's see that. Some instructions there, and this just tells you, you know, where to fit everything, and that tells you how to actually put it in. So we're going to do that. So we've got a couple on the ends of the cars, it looks like. I can't see them here. Boy, those are tough to see on the ends of the car there. To be honest, I don't see them on the... So maybe they're... Ah, that's because they're on the ends of the body. That makes more sense. Okay, so I think the most important thing is to get our number 80 drill bit out and start drilling. All right, so here I got my number 61 to number 80 drill bits. And when you see how it's tiny, I mean, that drill bit down there is so small, it's like a hair. And this is crazy small. I can barely grab it. And then it says to just put it in the pin vise very... Oh, man. Can't even open this pin vise. There we go. I'm gonna fight with this drill bit here for a minute to be able to actually put it in the pin vise. I don't want to drop it because I'll never find it and roll over it and break it. There we go. So I'm gonna close this hole up just a little bit. I can, well, that ain't centered at all. That's better. So I'm going to put it about that far out. And then I'm going to take a look at some of these holes here. These are dented in the side. Just put it in, take a look at it, and it looks pretty straight. I'm just going to let the drill bit do the work. And we're going to slowly make our way into a hole. And I'm pretty sure that that was the drill bit. Don't believe that went through. Well, maybe it did. Indeed it did. All right, so these holes are not very... This is a very thin part of the plastic. So what you want to do is make sure that you know exactly that your drill bit is in the hole there, because there is not a lot of wiggle room, because this area is very, very thin plastic. And look off to the side of the camera here so I can actually see what I'm doing. There, that's all the way through. And you want to twist it as it comes out so that you don't accidentally rip it out, and then maybe, you know, just take a little bit of your fingers, clean it out. See some plastic still on there. So I'm going to go ahead and take all of these pieces, all these screws out, and put some of these grab irons on. So I'll be back. Okay. So with that, all the holes, both sides, have been drilled. I believe I drilled both. Yeah. And we're ready to put some grab irons on there. Let's do that. And there they are. I just kind of got into the groove and forgot to actually show you guys. Drilled the holes, just slid these grab irons in. They seem to actually just kind of fit on there. They're more or less flush, which is kind of how I wanted them, so that they didn't get, you know, caught on anything. Even though this says the instructions say to shim them with a piece of like 030 styrene. I also took all the screws out of here. So there's 4 screws here, and then there are 2 weights. When you pop those 2 weights off, you can see there are now, maybe you can't see them, but sort of see it there, the silver pickup points. So those pickup points will then transfer power into the weight that is underneath the car that you cannot, you can kind of see it in there. And then there's these 2 little contact points which you slide in there, and they line up with those holes there. And then these contacts here go up inside, and you glue those little pieces of plastic in so that those strips are always contacting your circuit board. And yes, I did have to cut down the circuit board, but now it fits and it works perfectly. So for the moment of truth, you gotta slide the body back down on, and I'm actually gonna pop you guys back into the tripod here while I do so. I'm gonna slide it just kind of down on like that. Give it a little shove. I don't want to force it, but sometimes you gotta, like, if you don't get it down on straight, it's gonna come over just a little bit, and then it kind of just pops in. Sometimes you gotta give it give her a little squeeze, and she pops together here. She's nice and tight. So we're gonna go ahead and put those 4 screws that I took out back in, and then we're gonna change the trucks. So here's the 2 screws here. We're just gonna give it a little screw, turn it backwards, just so that's in. And it seems like all they do is just, like, with a little bit of tension, they just kind of hold them in. There's no threads or anything. This just kind of slides in there. Holds everything together though, which is good. I just need to tighten them down a little bit more. That's all. You just want to tighten them like what I usually like to do is I like to spin the screwdriver with my thumb, and once my thumb just kind of starts slipping, that's how I know that the screw's down far enough. So next, what we're gonna do is pull out this screw here, and you can see a little bit better those metal contacts that the trucks will then contact. So here's the other side. Okay, so that's those. Now we'll pop these trucks out. And get them fitted just in the reverse order and take them down to the layout. So these are nice metal trucks. They'll add some weight. So these cars were a little light in my opinion. So let's finish screwing the truck on. It's on. So it turns. It's nice and free rolling, and the trucks wobble side to side, but not give it that body wobbling effect. So now these are down on. Maybe I'll give it a back up just so that it can keep them as tight as I want. All right, And this coach is now back together and ready to head down to the layout for a test light. See how it goes. And for the moment of truth, it works. I really like this kind of bluish color that you get inside instead of a warmer white. These were definitely in the era of like that kind of fluorescent lighting. So they definitely would have fluorescent lighting, and you can see the difference, just how nice that looks in there with the, of course now it's pretty empty without any passengers in it, but maybe one day that'll be rectified. And then we've got the nice Amfleet cars that are nice and dark. Those eventually will get lights. The proto kits are actually a little bit less than this, and of course, you know, they have all these grabs already installed on them, like here and down there and everything. So you don't have to put those on, so it's even less work. It's just a matter of popping 4 screws off of these, plopping the lighting kit, I believe. I don't know if these take a special lighting kit. I'll have to look that up. The Horizon cars, they do, so be aware of that. But yeah, so sorry about shaking the camera. I got now shaky cam again. No lights in the vestibules, which is probably prototypical. No marker lights, but it doesn't need them. Although I may give those a splotch of red paint just to make them look a little bit better. And yeah, so my Amtrak consist is starting to come together. So next step will be putting lights in these cars, and then those Rapido cars at the end, they need a lot of work. They need truck powered lighting. Right now they've got battery powers, and the batteries were so corroded in them, not from me, but from the previous owner, that it was something else. But in any case, that is all for this dinette car. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope this helps anyone who has one of these Amtrak Horizons that wanted to put a light kit in it. Know that you might have to do some modification to the board. And if you are interested in seeing these Walthers Proto Amfleets get lighting kits, leave a comment down below. And even if you don't, I'll probably do it anyways. So thank you guys again so much for watching, and stay tuned for another video in 2 weeks. Thanks, and goodbye.